Well, welcome everybody, and graduates, please be seated. But feel free to use your fans. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Maxwell School's Graduate Convocation. I'm Dean Jim Steinberg, and it's my great privilege to welcome our most recent graduates, as well as their family and friends, the Maxwell faculty and staff, and our many alumni and supporters. This is a wonderful occasion. You can tell by the smiles on everybody's face, not just for the newly minted graduates who have worked so hard to reach this day, but also for you, their families, who I know share a sense of pride and not a little bit of relief on this occasion. So I'd ask everyone here to join in a round of applause for the families who supported the graduates all this way. Throughout my time at Maxwell, I've had the opportunity to experience firsthand what a remarkable community this is, and the special commitment embodied in our name that we have to citizenship and public service on the local, state, and international level. The Maxwell School is now in its 10th decade, and the world has changed dramatically over those years. And I'm not just talking about selfies and Angry Birds, but the values of rigorous scholarship, of civil discourse, and the commitment to make a difference in the world remain unchanged. You are stepping into a challenging and exciting future in which the skills and the insights you honed during your time here will help you seize the opportunity to make our city greater, better, and more beautiful than you found it, an undertaking you will affirm at the end of today's ceremony when together we recite the Athenian Oath. Today is not an occasion to say goodbye, but to begin a new phase together as part of the remarkable worldwide community of Maxwell alumni. I'm especially pleased to see what a diverse community we are. And with us today are students from around the country and around the world. Diversity that helps us inculcate the spirit of respect and tolerance, which is so vital in today's globalized world. One of the reasons I'm confident about your future is because of the remarkable faculty we have here at Maxwell. Some of you may have read about a study released a few years ago by Gallup and Purdue University. The researchers found that students who were closely engaged with a faculty or who had a mentor who encouraged them to pursue their dreams and goals were more likely to be engaged at work and have high well-being. I know that the students, you here at Maxwell, recognize the strong commitment our faculty have to working with you and to helping you realize your goals. So I'd like our faculty to stand, please, and ask you to join me in thanking them for all they've done. And as all of you students know well, none of the work that we do here at Maxwell would be possible without our amazing staff. So please let them stand too, please, and give them a round of applause. We begin today's program with our student speaker, Miryahan Turdiev. Miryahan joined the Maxwell School community with a professional background in the areas of community mobilization, microfinance, and disability rights advocacy, working at the United Nations, USAID's, and Japanese government's development programs in Uzbekistan. Prior to enrollment in the EMPA program here, Miryahan spent 10 months in Maxwell School as a Hubert H. Humphrey Program Fellow, an experience that catalyzed him to study public policy and administration to enrich his work experience with education. Miryahan focused his EMPA program to the policy development and leadership issues for the promotion of empowerment and inclusion of persons with disabilities into mainstream society. In this regard, he academically and professionally collaborated with the TNGO initiative here at Maxwell and disability professors throughout SU. He is a recipient of a professional scholarship from the U.S. State Department's International Visitor Leadership Program and the Open Society Foundation for his professional dedication and contributions to international development. He earned his bachelor's degree in English philology from Karshi State University. Let's welcome Mary Harmon.
Good afternoon, Dean Steinberg, honored speaker, Mr. Bertini, and faculty and respected professors. And of course, our families, friends, and sensational graduates of 2016. Today's event is about us, the graduates of 2016, for reaching this very important milestone in our lives. The journey we have just traversed has been academically and personally very rich and insightful. There is no doubt we worked hard, sacrificed our sweet sleeps, stayed extra late in the AV or bird library due to missing the last bus, and hoped for free ride offers on our Facebook groups. And sometimes we got frustrated for our closing minutes of very important deadlines, and definitely enjoyed the tons of food, which later paved a nice path to Archibald Gym for most of us. Yet none of us here could reach this milestone without our supporters. From our families to our friends, from our classmates and to the staff and professors here at the Maxwell School, and the whole Syracuse University. Their personal and academic counseling, their financial support, and of course their encouragement all had such an important role in our educational journey and cannot be overstated or forgotten. Each and every graduate student here has enjoyed a unique personal journey. While some of us came for our academic excellence for future career growth, and others sought out the Maxwell School to engage in scholarship programs or to turn their dream of master's degree into the reality. Like many of you, I too have my own special and somewhat miraculous story behind my graduate education, which I recently reflected on in my preparation for this address. It's a sort of like a message in the moral story, although it comes from the double landlocked country of Uzbekistan. It is my belief that my journey to this graduate program at the Maxwell School was in fact conceived at the same day of my birth in 1978, with this half-faded slip of paper. On this paper, when I was taking my first breath on this world, my grandmother typed her big dream for me that I would earn university education from top-ranked university in Uzbekistan. My mom kept this paper in safe, kept until it was time to put the wheels in motion for reaching this big dream, starting with my university admission in 1995 to become a public school teacher. My enrollment in that program was just the first step in what I envision will be a long and fruitful career in public service, a career that will undoubtedly be catapulted thanks to the amazing education I have received here at the Maxwell School over the last 2 years. I owe invaluable appreciation to my grandma and my mom, who are now watching this speech on a webcast, and for transmitting this big dream to me, leading me to become an educated public servant from this prestigious school, and more importantly, to become a contributing citizen. Like many of you, beyond my family, I also owe a debt of gratitude to the professors, researchers, administrators, and support staff of the Maxwell School, who form the backbone of this school. Their tireless work holds up the highest roof in the country and creates an enabling environment where the theory and practice converge into a full spectrum learning environment. I was a witness of this national level recognition of Maxwell's excellence at the International City Managers Association Conference, which is ICMA conference, when I was in Seattle last year, when the promoter of Harvard's Kennedy School Governance promoter said, well, we also have some good programs, when I said I'm a Maxwell School graduate student. That was a quite impressive reaction from such a great school in the country. I'm also thankful to my American and international friends for graciously sharing their time, personal space, empathy, and sympathy during the ups and downs of graduate studies. I'm thankful to my extended family and friends back in Uzbekistan for their continued support and encouragement and care despite 6,500 miles distance. And finally, I thank my wife for making sure I have my coffee for study during the night times, and for my marvelous kids for sharing my student life by going to bed early, leaving me a time to study. The education and professional development opportunities available at Maxwell catalyzed my inevitable interest in the school's master's program while I was a Hubert H. Humphrey Fellow. Through the courses offered in the EMPA program, I am now able to frame and validate previous work experience with theoretical concepts of effective public administration techniques. The biggest intellectual evolution for me has been the expansion of my approach to all public issues by adding the question how to the question why. The question how has led me to deliberate about the processes and instruments for more effective participatory and democratic policies and decision-making as a public servant. As a result of policy analysis, leadership, participatory and collaborative governance, policy implementation, and international development administration courses, it became a default habit for me to look at the world through the lens of both why and how questions. Listening to the NPR, which is National Public Radio, during my morning rides to the campus, during the ongoing US presidential race debates have provided an excellent opportunity for me to really test the knowledge I gained about the public policy, governance, leadership through this why and how spectrum. By way of example, now when I hear that well-known immigration-related policy idea about building a Great Wall, now I know I'm not talking about this Chinese Great Wall. Now I think about the cost and benefits of such policies, negative and positive externalities, or rent-seeking behind such policies. Another significant change for me has been the shift from disability rights advocate to pragmatic disability rights advocate, meaning I'm able to link my disability rights advocacy with practical policy instruments. All these give a life to my definition of citizenship, which was created within the walls of Maxwell. My citizenship definition is give and accept. The oath of Athenian city-state also endorses this motto by stating, we will transmit this city, not only, not less, but greater, better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Change is inevitable, but good global citizens such as us can play an instrumental role in shaping how that change can happen. This is the most urgent time for our generation for constructive citizen diplomacy, to respond to all the human-made catastrophes we're witnessing now, regardless of ethnic, racial, religious, or gender differences. I'm grateful to Maxwell for positioning me to be capable citizen and leader in ever-changing world. Thank you, and I hope to see you all in 2024 to celebrate 10th decade of Maxwell School.
Well, thank you, Mirhan, for such a touching and inspiring personal account of what makes us all so proud of being part of Maxwell. And now it's my great pleasure, personal privilege, to introduce our convocation speaker, Catherine Bertini. As most of you know, Catherine Bertini, Professor of Public Administration and International Affairs at Syracuse, has been teaching courses in international relations and leadership as a professor of practice at Maxwell since 2005. Her remarkable career is emblematic of the Maxwell idea that there are so many different ways that an individual can make a difference, from the local level, as evidenced by Catherine's work in state government in Illinois and New York. At the global level, she served as Executive Director of the World Food Program and Undersecretary General for Management at the United Nations. In the public sector, as an Assistant Secretary both in the Departments of Agriculture and HHS. In civil society, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In academia, here at Maxwell and elsewhere, and in the private sector. The range of her expertise is also extraordinary. She's a leader in public sector management reform, international organizations, humanitarian relief, agricultural development, gender programming, and nutrition policy. Her career is also testament to the sadly rare but much needed bipartisanship that's embodied in her service to both Democratic and Republican administrations over the years. This commitment is reflected in her service as a member of the 2012 Accountability Review Board on Benghazi, and her 9 years as a presidential appointee under both Presidents Bush and Obama to the Board of International Food and Agricultural Development. As befitting the international character of our institution, Catherine has been decorated by the Republic of Italy with its Order of Merit, and recognized by the Republic of Ireland with its Certificate of Irish Heritage. The Times of London listed her as one of the world's most powerful women. 12 universities in 4 countries have awarded her honorary degrees. Indeed, she's received numerous national and international awards. But even more important, just these past few months, she was among the inaugural class to be inducted into the Cortland County Hall of Fame. These many prizes are a testament to the high esteem in which she is held by people around the world. She has been a great friend and a valuable advisor to me during my time as dean. But for us at Maxwell, there is no greater tribute than the esteem of her students, something I hear from them all the time. So I want to end my introduction of Professor Bertini by sharing with you a quote from one of her students, Emily Nasser, who's one of our recent graduates. Taking Professor Bertini's course at the United Nations over winter break was one of the most rewarding experiences I had as a Maxwell student. She gave us unparalleled access to the UN as we learned from leaders in the World Food Program and the Security Council, just to name a few. Professor Bertini in action at the UN let her knowledge and passion for gender equality, food security, and girls' education shine through, giving her students a truly special and unique learning experience. I can't say it any better than that. There's no greater tribute than to hear that kind of impact that we all aspire to have as teachers here at Maxwell. So please join me in welcoming Professor Catherine Bertini.
Dean Steinberg, colleagues, students, their families, our friends, thank you for this honor to join you today. You know, each of us, even those still seeking jobs, have great fortunes in our careers because we have great choices. So before I start my remarks, I want to take a point of personal privilege to say thank you to our dean. He made a choice to leave a senior role in government to spend 5 years of his valuable career here with us at the Maxwell School. Now, as he moves to a new chapter of his life, I ask you to join me to say thank you for all that he has given to us here at the Maxwell School and at Syracuse University. You, the graduates, came to Maxwell because you are committed to helping to lead our Athenian city on the hill, to make it greater, better, more beautiful than was transmitted to us. Yours, however, is a far more complicated challenge than that of the generations between World War II and you. Our city needs much repair and attention, but its problems go beyond the traditional ones, and the problems cannot be improved by using traditional solutions. It's not that the infrastructure of our city is crumbling, although it is true that we face the challenge of many more people moving to our cities, many more people being born into the world. It's not, in this case, that our economy is in recession, or that hunger is on the rise, or that fewer people are in school. In fact, many economic and social indicators are improving. Some of them, for instance, continuing the downward trend to ending hunger, will happen on your watch and can be accomplished by employing traditional actions. The challenges for which the shining city on the hill requires new answers, new solutions, new attitudes are not about what we see in the buildings or in the infrastructure, but rather what we hear from people. Millions of people on the right and on the left in this country and in countries around the world are alienated and showing their outrage at the system. Most of these people are fed up. Many fear for the future. Louder and louder, they're calling for change from a Tunisian market, from the squares of Cairo, from streets in London, from factories in China, from political party primaries in the United States of America. People are asking questions like, when are the leaders going to listen to people like me and not just the rich and powerful? Why am I only the only person who seems to follow the rules and yet many other people get ahead? Will politicians ever stop fighting among themselves and do something positive? Why, after I lost my hard-earned savings in the stock market in 2008 in the United States, did no one go to jail? What's wrong with a system where I'm over $100,000 in debt just because I went to college? Are they now going to take away my health care insurance and give it to somebody else? Why do drugs and medical care cost so much anyway? Why can't we stop the flow of and the manufacture of illegal drugs that's now impacting not just poor communities and wealthy communities, but middle-class communities as well? Why does our so-called healthy food cause so much obesity? Why can't jobs be filled on merit rather than on who you know? And why is free trade such a good thing when I lost my job because of it and there was no one around to help me? Who are all those people coming from another land who want to take our jobs? Are there any institutions that we can trust? Financial? Government? Healthcare? Sports? FIFA? NFL? College basketball? Where are the powers that be, and when are they going to stop lying to us? Is there no end to government corruption? People are fed up. They're shaken up. They feel downtrodden. They feel dissed. And they're returning to the outrage that was expressed in the 1976 movie Network. And if you remember this line, recite it with me. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. If many members of the general populace feel this way, imagine how terrorists and other nefarious groups that are determined to undermine society and order can use some of these sentiments as calls to action. This is the shining city on the hill that you are inheriting. And yes, you must make it better. The worst actions you can take in your careers will involve accepting the status quo. The worst words in your lexicon must be, "We've always done it this way." And the last thing that you should do is to become part of an elite and out-of-touch old boy or old girl network. Recall the George Bernard Shaw quote paraphrased by US Senator Robert F. Kennedy. "Some people see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not?" From my career, I know it's possible to ask, why not? I had the opportunity to do this when I was in the sub-cabinet at USDA over 25 years ago, at a time when almost no grocery stores accepted credit cards or debit cards. And we asked, why don't we change food stamp delivery to debit cards? And we did. Health professionals then and now said that breastfeeding is important. So we asked, why are we giving away only infant formula in our programs for poor women? Why don't we have the government give additional food support for breastfeeding mothers? So we did. When many Americans seemed to have no clue about the balance of what was good to eat, we said, let's create a graphic that can show what people should consume for a healthy diet. And the food guide pyramid was created. At the World Food Program, as many of my students know, once we defined our mission as ending hunger, we totally changed our focus from delivering tons of food to feeding millions of people. Immediately, it became obvious that we must partner with cooks, with women, and put women in leadership roles around the world if we were to have any chance of ending hunger, as they are the people in each household dedicated to the same. These reforms remain a model of efficiency and gender inclusion. At the United Nations, when a female Dutch staff member married to another woman from the Netherlands could not get benefits for her wife, we broke through barriers of senior officials who blocked these benefits so that the Secretary General could decide affirmatively that the US should provide benefits to all married couples. Then we successfully defended these new benefits against delegates from conservative states who wanted to block them. And even out of office, we dared say to an incoming US administration 8 years ago that it's in America and the world's interest to prioritize support for smallholder farmers in the developing world. The Obama administration called our report the blueprint for their successful initiatives in this field. But even 8 years ago, that was then. This is now, and now is different. Now more than ever, the world needs bold direction, out-of-the-box strategists, creative communicators, global thinkers. The world always must have public servants with compassion and understanding. But we also now must ensure that public servants are without perceived conflicts of interest, without vested interests, and with a strong sense of inclusion for all. Those servants, whether governments, researchers, non-governmental organizations, international organizations, corporations, must understand what the people need and want. New thinkers and actors come from the Maxwell School all the time. I refer you to Amir Farmenish, MPA 2006, MAIR 2007, who created Iran Poll, a full-service research company focusing exclusively on emerging Iran. to Ann Wadsworth, EMPA 2009, who decided that she could change an entire community in Tanzania through building a girls' school with local partners while she raised money in Buffalo, New York, because she was motivated to do that here at Maxwell. Andrew Sweet, MAIR 2007, who, after writing for the Center of American Progress and being an assistant to U.S. aid administrator, moved to South Africa to play a leadership role in Power Africa, helping to extend electricity throughout the continent. Ryan Beach, MAIR 2012, who is the person primarily responsible for implementing the groundbreaking IRIS scanning system for distribution of benefits to Syrian refugees in Jordan. And a graduate today, MAIR 2016, maybe 2015 actually, Nicole Gerke, who decided she didn't have to wait for a job offer, although she'd really love to have one, to start her life's work. And she flew to Greece to work with a Norwegian NGO to help homeless migrants who are living at considerable risk. These people are some who are changing the world in new ways, employing new methods with renewed energy and a revitalized sense of integrity and energy. And then there is you, Nicole's classmates. Each of you have made a commitment to make the world a better place. One by one, you will do that. Now you must approach your career and each job you have with it in a very different manner than your parents have or that your professors have. If you're already mid-career, your future approach to public service must even be different than it was when your career began, because you have new tools to use. This articulation of discontent must be matched by your articulation and implementation of effective actions. This is no longer the exclusive role of those who are elected to office, but to every person who in any way touches public policy. Every person involved has to ensure the success of any bureaucracy. You must listen to people in need and find out what it is that you can do to respond quickly and effectively through creative and thoughtful solutions. The plethora of social media, as well as traditional media options, offer thousands of opportunities for governments to communicate with its populations, for businesses to communicate with its customers, for healthcare providers with its patients. Communication within an organization has always been critical to success, but now you can communicate in almost very intimate ways. The public can reach out and touch you, and you can reach them in unique, targeted communications never dreamed of a generation ago. And you must do so. The future of our governments and perhaps our societies depends on your ability to communicate, your ability to create solutions, your ability to act honorably, and ultimately, your ability to rebuild confidence in our institutions, in our city. You must not strive to keep the city the same. It's already different. You must not be determined to simply steady people's concerns. You must be ready to lead, to carry your constituency, whatever that is, to heights we have not contemplated before, to open, responsive, transparent, inclusive, balanced, and thoughtful governance. Governance where all people have access for what they need, not just to survive, but to thrive. We hope we have trained you well here at Maxwell, but ultimately, the responsibility is yours. You can make the difference between status quo and totally new solutions and horizons. You can create new transparency in government. You can build entire new communication systems. You can steer the concern, the anger, the disappointment of populations into constructive support for innovative programs. In brief, you must not just change the world, you must save the world. We are counting on you to do so.
Well, thank you, Catherine, for that powerful message and for those kind words. I'm very grateful. At this point in the proceedings, I introduce our Senior Associate Dean, Mike Wasilenko, who's going to recognize the academic awards for 2016. Before I do so, there's just one last opportunity for me as Dean to publicly thank Mike for his decades of service to Maxwell. It's an extraordinary commitment, and for his tremendous support and his valuable advice to me over these many years. So, Mike, thank you, and please come up and read the award.
Well, thank you very much for those kind words, and welcome to all of you, parents, friends, family, graduates, faculty, thank you, and especially the staff who work so hard at this. We get to do the easy part, I think. I'm here to recognize the outstanding academic awards for doctoral students, and let me say a little bit about doctoral education here at the school before I launch into that. Doctoral education at the Social Sciences and Maxwell prepares students to perform careful research and to work and solve problems that vex populations around the world. And I think from the dissertation titles you'll be able to see the rich array of problems we work on here. A research-oriented faculty also works closely with the graduate students to help them master their subject area and to train them in the craft of research. These same faculty, of course, enrich the intellectual environment and the classroom environments for master's and undergraduate students. There are, you may have noticed, long-standing traditions and even pageantry associated with advanced degrees. Doctoral grounds have these chevrons on their sleeves, and all of you have those. But they also come in many colors. I'm wearing the traditional and slimming black. Jim is in the Yale blue. Andrew is in University of Pennsylvania, maroon and two-tone. We have various arrays of blue. Columbia University is in the light blue. Gretchen, where are you, Gretchen? She's in the Berkeley blue, and so there are various blues. If you see a steel gray this weekend, that's MIT. Crimson is Harvard. Cardinal is Stanford. Bright yellow will be Johns Hopkins, and bright orange will be Princeton. But there are various, and even though he's not wearing it, Michigan State is green. So, you see green? That'll be Michigan State. There's also a doctoral hood that's associated with receiving an advanced degree. And this evening, all the doctoral students across the university will attend a hooding ceremony where their faculty mentors will invest them with the hood. They will be hooded by their faculty. Congratulations to all the doctoral graduates. Here, we're especially here to honor the Maxwell's Doctoral Prize winners. Every year, each department in Maxwell reviews the dissertations from their candidates and selects a recipient for recognition. There are an array of topics reflecting the broad interests of the faculty and students, as well as an array of issues and social issues. I asked the following winners of the 2016 Doctoral Prize Awards to come to the stage and be recognized. One at a time, please. Wesley Willoughby, advisor. Teresa Singleton, title of the dissertation, The Country's House, Examining Public Space and Community in St. Mary's City's 17th Century Town Center. In economics, Fei Wang, advisor. Chiwa Kao, essays in structural changes in high-dimensional econometric models. This on some flights might get you pulled off the airplane. Paul Aris, advisor Elizabeth Lash Quinn, title The Lonely 90s, Visions of Community on Television Between the End of the Cold War and 9/11. Political Science, Rachel Sigmund. Advisor, Hans-Peter Schmidt. Which Jobs for Which Boys? Party Financing, Patronage, and State Capacity in African Democracies. Ching Miao. Advisors, David Popp and Peter Wilcoxon. Title, Climate Change Adaptation, Natural Hazard Mitigation, and Innovative Responses. Social Science, Anya Stanger. Advisor, Chandra Mohante. Privilege Resistance, The Prisoners of Conscience in the United States, 1980 to 2013. Sociology, Yasmin Patricio Ortega. Advisor, Prima Curian, Educating for Export, Producing Filipino Migrant Workers for the Global Market. Round of applause for these winners, please. Each year, graduate school also recognizes outstanding teaching assistants. This year's winners for Maxwell include Francesca Bowen, Political Science, Maria Fernanda Bozes Cuatros from Anthropology, Sam Jackson, Social Science, Julia James, History, Scarlett Riedman, History, Shondell Sanchez, Anthropology, Jessica Suave, Economics, Tracy Vargas, Sociology, and Nidhi Vij, Public Administration and International Affairs. I thank you for your dedicated service to our students. Round of applause, please. And I want to also thank Jim. It's been a privilege to serve with you.
Thank you, Mike. Well, this is the part that both the graduates and the families get especially excited about, because now we're going to recognize our PhD and master's graduates.
Ishe Ujan. Dwayne Scheid. Wesley Willoughby. Nicole Wilson. LaRonda Ely. Fa Wang. Ian Wright. Jinshi Yi. Paul Aris. Yasina Hergobin. Harish Jagannath. Michael Torak. Chantel Frazier. Trey Wentling. Jaewei Ko. Saeed Arslan. Kelsey Carlson. Alma Begic. Jai Jung. Nicole Gerke. Napao Lee. Catherine Ryan. Ivan Zhivkov. Julianne Dunn. Justin Graddick. Jesse Chen. Elena Borzenkova. Allison Carter Olson. Emily Fredenberg. Elizabeth Gawney. Jennifer Lee Nieves Alvarez. Keeman Rowe. Sarah White. Yuki Yamamoto. Nara Kim. Evan Kendall. Gabriela Luciano. Ariel Moncure. Megan Schneider. And Yibing Tang.
Mai Adachi. Huma Ahmed. Aleski Anakin. Kimberly Brown. Vandana Dadel. Jennifer Dombrowski. Bulent Hayalogu. Mirjahan Turdiev. Sandeep Jain. Ritesh Kavdia. Sunil Kumar. Catalina Lara San Martin. Stella Luca. Teresa Lopez Delgado. Lisa Marie Campagna. Nilab Mobarez. Sanjahan Nansalama. Anand Kumar Singh. Syed Asa Raza. Simon Perez Navarro. Nakilab Salazari. Alak Tripathi. Emily Morgan Albert Chase. Pamela Elena Davis. Sherry Nicole Ferrier. Keely Hansen. Deanna Marguerite Legnato. Aaron Rogers. Joseph Christopher Serburn. Carmen Marie Smith. Yasuo Tsukamoto. Lavon Q. Washington. Danielle Irene Wollenberg. Rutong Zhu. Ryan Plattner. Diane Valiando. Rosiana Bensner. Cassie Dutton. Mary Pagan. Mustafa Awaida. Darlene Carlali. Wishay Violent. And Rita Warlock.
Well, we can't do this enough, so let's have one more round of applause for all our graduates. Well, some of you may know, a number of years back, there was a junior faculty member here at Maxwell by the name of Daniel Patrick Moynihan. That junior faculty member, who was here from 1959 to 1961, later became a U.S. Senator and a great American statesman. In 1986, he endowed the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Award to be presented annually to an outstanding untenured faculty member, in honor of his early career as a junior faculty member, who excels in teaching, research, and service. This award is one of the most valued recognitions earned by a junior Maxwell faculty member and really represents the highest tribute that our colleagues can give. And I'm pleased that we have co-winners this year of the 2016 Daniel Patrick Moynihan Award for Teaching and Research, and they are Gretchen Purser and Natalie Cook. Professor Purser is an assistant professor of sociology. She got her PhD in sociology from UC Berkeley, as Mike explained to you from the robes, and her BA in sociology from Smith. Prior to joining the faculty at Syracuse, she was a University of California President's postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Sociology at UC Davis. Her scholarship is a model of engaged research in which serious social scientific inquiry is driven with a principled dedication to social justice. Gretchen's areas of focus are low-wage work, urban poverty, and punishment. Her book, Labor on Demand, Dispatching the Urban Poor, won the Center for Public Anthropology's 2014 Book Award, and she also earned her a visiting scholar position at the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. In addition, she has published widely on topics such as eviction in urban centers, immigrant worker rights, precarious labor, and the intersection of punishment and low-wage labor. And in addition to her research, she is extremely committed to teaching and service, as evidenced by the fact that she won the Meredith Outstanding Teaching Award in 2013. She's taught at both the undergraduate and graduate levels and is currently serving on an extraordinary 12 dissertation committees, which my colleagues know is truly great service, and all of you know is truly great service. Her impressive service record within the department, at the university, in her profession, and across the community is deeply integrated with her teaching and her research. She's the founding member of the Labor Studies Working Group at Maxwell, which has recently been featured as one of our Maxwell 10th Decade projects on work, labor, and citizenship. And equally remarkable is her extraordinary commitment to her community, to Syracuse. In addition to serving on the boards of directors for community centers across the city, such as the Center for Community Alternatives in Syracuse and the Workers' Center of Central New York, she has secured grants totaling over $20,000 for several community-based organizations in Syracuse. Her community leadership, evidenced in the training and support of low-wage workers, her placement of Syracuse student volunteers across the city, and her efforts at social justice embody the spirit of citizenship and public engagement that the Moynihan Award represents. Please join me in congratulating Professor Gretchen Purser. Professor Natalie Cook is an assistant professor of geography. She received her PhD in geography from the University of Colorado at Boulder and her BA in geography and Russian area studies from Dartmouth College. Natalie's research is prolific and wide-ranging. A political geographer, her interests focus on nationalism, geopolitics, and state formation, especially in authoritarian countries. She has published over 20 articles, 10 book chapters, and multiple policy memos. Her work covers a wide range of topics, from urban sustainability in Qatar, geopolitics of higher education in Central Asia and the Persian Gulf, urban development in Kazakhstan, and the geographies of sport. In addition, her doctoral dissertation and postdoctoral work will culminate in a book manuscript to be completed this year called Spectacular Cities, Authoritarianism and the New Capitals of Asia. And having been to several of them, I look forward very much to that work. In recognition of her rising prominence in the field, she was awarded the Stanley D. Brun Young Scholar Award of the Association of American Geographer's Political Geography Specialty Group in 2014. She's been awarded funding from the National Science Foundation, the Social Science Research Council, and Fulbright. In recognition of her teaching innovation and excellence, she received the 2016 Meredith Teaching Recognition Award for outstanding teaching at Syracuse. She also covers a wide range of courses, from large 100-level lecture courses to advanced doctoral seminars. And she also makes key service contributions in her department. She's an active and helpful member of the undergraduate committee in geography. In the profession, she chairs the Political Geography Specialty Group for the Association of American Geographers. Please join me in congratulating Professor Natalie Cook. The list of awards that we could mention at these events goes very long indeed, but there are some very special awards that have been made over the past year that I really want to just mention on this occasion, because they really represent what we're all about, and it's really a reflection of how high a regard our faculty is seen. The Laura J. and L. Douglas Meredith Professorships were created in 1995 to recognize and reward outstanding teaching at the university. The Teaching Recognition Award was established in 2001 through an expansion of the Laura J. and L. Douglas Meredith Professorship Program. Recipients are selected for their teaching innovation, effectiveness in communicating with students, and the lasting value of their courses. This year, the recipient for Maxwell for the Meredith Professorship was Peter Wilcoxon, Professor of Public Administration and International Affairs, and as all of you know, a frequent member of these convocations for his enormous service to Maxwell and to the university. And as I mentioned, the university also recognizes excellence in teaching at the non-tenured level. This year, Elizabeth Ashby in economics and Don Dow received the university's Meredith Teaching Recognition Awards, as well as Natalie Cook. So let's congratulate all three of them. For our graduates here today, you'll be especially appreciative of the Excellence in Graduate Education Faculty Recognition Award. The Graduate School also honors faculty members whose dedication to graduate students and commitment to excellence in graduate teaching and mentoring have made a significant contribution to graduate education at Syracuse University. And this year, 2 Maxwell faculty were honored with the Graduate Education Faculty Recognition Award: Tom Keck in political science and Cecilia Van Hollen in anthropology. So congratulations to them. Another especially valued award, and one that really does reflect how much we are committed and believe in the importance of our service in education, is the Faculty Advisor of the Year Award. And I'm very pleased to say that this year, Deborah Pello, professor and undergraduate director in the Department of Anthropology, has been named the Faculty Advisor of the Year for the College of Arts and Sciences and for Maxwell. And I want to read a direct quote from the Associate Dean for Advising Career Services in Arts and Sciences, who said, "Dr. Pello is a fierce advocate for undergraduates, but one with a soft touch and warm heart. She expects the best from students, always challenging them to meet their full potential, but always there to lend a helping hand." And I can think of no greater tribute, so let's have a round of applause for Professor Deborah Pello. Finally, the university has a special category award for people whose lifetime career really reflects the highest and best of our hopes and expectations for our faculty in research and teaching. And earlier this week, we were pleased to see that 2 of our faculty have been awarded this very distinctive honor of a distinguished professor. Robert Rubenstein, the professor of anthropology, and Bill Horace, who I think is here with us today. Yes, Bill, would you please stand? The Department of Public Administration and International Affairs takes a moment each spring to recognize those students within the IR program whose achievements, actions, or spirit have advanced the mission of the study of international relations at the Maxwell School. And the following student has been nominated by his advisors and faculty is worthy of commendation for the following achievement. That is the Academic Achievement Award. Evan Kindle, a public diplomacy grad, recognized for his meritorious academic achievement at the Maxwell School. He has achieved the highest academic performance among his peers over the 58 credit hours he pursued during his course of study. So congratulations to him. Although most of our ceremony has focused on the graduate students who are here today getting these awards, I do want to take this occasion to pay tribute to our undergraduates as well, because it's very much central to our mission here at Maxwell, and to just mention in passing some of the notable honors that our undergraduates have won this year. First of all, every year the university names 12 seniors as university scholars, which is the highest undergraduate honor that the university bestows. And this year, among the 12 who will represent the graduating class on Sunday, Yoo-Jin Kim, who will graduate with a BA in geography. So congratulations to her. And another great honor that's bestowed here at Syracuse University are the Remembered Scholars, which was founded as a tribute and a means of remembering the 35 Syracuse students who were killed in the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland. And this year we have a number of Remembered Scholars from Maxwell, including Jessica Faunce from Citizenship and Civic Engagement and International Relations, Catherine Frager from Policy Studies, Virginia Giannini from International Relations, Daniel Hopkins, a Geography minor, Haley Kolakowski, International Relations and Policy Studies, Cameron McPherson, International Relations, Sarah McNamara, Anthropology, Alexis Pena, Medical Anthropology minor, Luke Rafferty, Human Geography minor, Nina Rogers, Sociology, Heather Rounds, Middle East Studies and CCNE, Hannah Wisnowski, Sports Management with a Political Science minor, and Yuqing Xie, Economics and Mathematics. So congratulations to all of them as well. And finally, and something which will resonate with many of our graduates here today, for the third year in a row, the Maxwell School received top honors for outstanding delegation at the annual Model UN Conference in New York City. So let's give a round of applause for that. Well, we're now almost to the part that you and your families and friends have been most waiting for, which is the end of the ceremony and the chance to go out and celebrate. And I hope you'll all join us at the reception afterwards. But before we do, we will conclude, as we always do, with a great Maxwell tradition, the reading of the Athenian Oath. So I'd ask all of our graduates to rise and join me, and my colleagues in the faculty to join me in reciting the oath. We will ever strive for the ideals and sacred things of the city, both alone and with many. We will unceasingly seek to quicken the sense of public duty. We will revere and obey the city's laws. We will transmit this city, not only not less, but greater, better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Congratulations to you all, and well done.